Hey, it's John Terry with Vision Advisors. Welcome to another Selling Secrets of the Top 5%. This is Selling Secret number 17, and I want to spend this particular episode talking about problems versus solutions, and the fact that we need to be focusing what is already on the mind of our clients. When we think about the business that we're in, we're entrepreneurs, and our mindset as an entrepreneur thinks differently than the customers that we serve. As a result of that, as we're approaching our customers, we don't need to approach them with the same strategies that we use in solving our own problems. When we look into our business as entrepreneurs, we quickly identify the problems and the issues that exist in our business. And just as quickly as we identify the problems, we identify a solution or a remedy or a workaround. And at that point, we immediately implement a solution so that we can move on and continue to grow and prosper in our business. As a rule of thumb, entrepreneurs spend about 20% of their time thinking about the problem and 80% of their time developing and implementing a solution to make the problem go away. But when it comes to our clients and we think about our clients, fear is something that takes place in their mind that they can't get rid of. If you've not yet had a chance to see the Disney movie Inside Out, this is the fear character from the movie. But this character lives in the mind of our clients. And as they're dealing with issues, their mindset and the wheels that turn in their mind are different in terms of how they think. Number one, they're going to be slow to admit that they have a problem. They're going to ponder and mutter and think for a while about what's going on before they finally admit to themselves, yes, I have a problem. I have a concern. I'm anxious about something. And oftentimes they're fearful and concerned, but they don't know why. But when they finally admit they have a problem, they emotionally connect to that problem. And at that point, it begins to fester and it begins to take on a life of its own. It's like that proverbial splinter that gets in the finger that you don't take out, and it just continues to fester as infection begins to set in, and it gets worse and worse. These mental problems and the emotions connected with it inside of our client's mind cause them to really get into a paralysis by analysis and trying to figure out how to solve a problem they're not equipped to solve on their own. And as a result of that, they are unsure as to what to do next. They can't see a way out of the maze. They can't identify the trail or the exit to get off of the road that they're on, and fear and anxiety in their lives begin to multiply. Now, one of the things the top 5% of all sales professionals understand is this particular dynamic. They understand that clients are much more problem-focused in the way they think versus an entrepreneur like themselves who is much more solution-focused in how they think. And as a result of that, as the top 5% walks in to sit down with a client, they want to enter in to the conversation that the client is having with themselves, beginning to speak into the fears and anxieties that they are experiencing, the stressors that they're going with, the emotions that they are dealing with as a result of the problem that they can't solve that has them stuck in their life. The top 5% of sales professionals take clients on a journey where they begin to ask questions and they allow the client to talk and to express themselves. And in doing so, they begin to vocalize not just the immediate fears and anxieties, but oftentimes the deep-seated root of where that fear and anxiety and stress and depression and frustration and all of those emotions come from. And as they take them through a journey of asking questions, all of a sudden, they get the client to stop and pause and begin to think about their problem differently. And not just see their problem as something that is unsolvable, but because they approach it through asking questions and allowing the client to express and get the emotions that are pent up out of their system. Now they have a chance to create in their mind more clarity of thought, where they can begin to see and believe that there is an opportunity for success. There is an exit. There's a way out. There's a solution. But when it comes to the problem and the solution, we have to understand that our clients go through a mental progression, much like going up the stairs. And looking into and understanding neuroscience and how the brain processes information and engages in problem solving, we know that there is a step by step process that takes time. And our clients are going to want to spend 80% of their time talking through the problem so that they fully express themselves and they're able to get an emotional release of the fear and anxiety and worry that are holding them back from taking action. And it's only after they've released all of that negative energy can you now focus the 20% of the effort that's left to implement a solution. As they're spending time sharing their problem with you, you now have a chance to enter into their conversation and begin through asking questions that cause them to look and think about their problem differently, to begin to assess the reality that there is a solution and that you can be a catalyst to make that happen. Now, when you walk in the door, one of the failures of the bottom 95% is they've got a great idea and they immediately know how to solve the client's problem. But because they haven't given the client the full autonomy and freedom to express what they're dealing with and to get those emotions fully verbalized and all of that negative energy out of their body, they are not yet ready to receive your idea as a great idea and the solution to their problem. And as a result of that, if you are too quick to the gun to begin to bring a solution to the table before they are ready to fully receive it, you false start. If you've ever had an opportunity to run track and you're anticipating the firing of that gun and you leave too early, it's a false start. And now you've got to get back in the starting blocks and start over. Many of us do the same thing with our clients if we fail to allow them to process and to verbalize and to deal with all of the emotions that they have pent up inside of them. We have to remember that the buying process and the decision-making process that individuals go through as they're making a buying decision is first emotional. And if we can't allow them to vent and clear the negative emotions that cloud their judgment and their decision-making ability, they are not going to be primed to receive your great idea and your great solution as the solution to their problem because they're not yet able to fully see it and grasp it. That means you've got to take the time to understand your client and give them a chance to get everything, as my dad used to say, get everything off your chest and just bare your soul so that you've got an opportunity that nothing is left unchallenged and unquestioned in the conversation. The goal here is to get into the client's head and understand what they are already thinking. What is the problem that they're dealing with? What is it that irritates them? What are they anxious about or frustrated about? What are the worries that keep them awake at night? What are issues in their life that they're dealing with? What do they already want and think about? And those are the things that are dwelling in their subconscious. And as you have a chance to engage with them, you've got to allow them to express this so that they can tell you what they really want and what they're thinking about. Because sometimes what they think they want and what they really want are two different things. But it's only through engaging and giving a client the opportunity to fully express the problem and to ask those probing questions that get them thinking differently about the problem that now releases that emotional energy that clears the fog and the cobwebs so they can begin to think clearly and be receptive to the solution that you're bringing to the table. Now, it's not only what they're thinking about and what they want. The other question is, what are the other problems that may be lurking below the surface? Because when you're talking to them and they say, I have a problem, well, that problem that they feel like is the problem may simply be an element of a bigger problem that they have yet to fully grasp and realize or see the complexity of, again, because emotions cloud judgment and rational thought. So being able to help them look fully at the problem and making sure you're addressing the right problem is something that's very, very important. The big thing you've really got to understand, and we talk about this a lot, is to really identify what is it, Mr. and Mrs. Client, that is causing you to lay in bed night after night, unable to sleep, that you're worried about or that you can't figure out how to do. It's a problem that's a big deal. And ultimately, as you're getting into their mind and you're engaging in the conversation they're already having with themselves, you're trying to identify what is the number one fear or concern right now that you can help them solve. And then, secondly, beyond that, after you've solved that problem, what's next on their mind? Now, one of the areas where we see the bottom 95% of sales professionals fail in being able to close more business is for them, it's a sprint to the solution. They want to get in as quickly as possible because entrepreneurs are problem solvers and they want to immediately solve the problem. Well, for most clients, they want to walk through a journey of discovery, explaining to you how they got to the point they are, why they found themselves in the hole they feel like they're stuck in, and let that be fully explained before you have an opportunity to take them by the hand and point them down the trail into the direction that they could go and say, this is the way out. Here's how we help you climb out of that hole, or climb that mountain that's in front of you, or navigate your way out of the maze you feel like you're trapped in to see success in life. It's a bit of a slower process, but understanding the human dynamic of the fact that your clients, when they are fearful or anxious or frustrated or dealing with negative emotions, they have to go through an emotional cleansing process to get those issues out and on the table so you can talk with them and discuss them. Otherwise, they become objections or something that is left unanswered. And as a result of that, in their mind, they can't see a way to move forward. So what we really have are competing ideologies. You, on one hand, want to quickly solve the problem so you can move on to the very next person that you can help. But your client doesn't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. They want to know that you are moved by what concerns them and that you can help, and that you are willing, at least for a few moments, to be a listening ear so that they can unload on you. I heard this described once by a friend that is a sales coach and trainer, and I loved his analogy. He said, as people get anxious and concerned, garbage builds up on the inside of their truck. And after a period of time, that garbage truck gets full. And at some point, they want to get with someone that they can dump that garbage out and be there as it's dumped and explain to them how that garbage got there. And it's only then that you can help them deal with it. Now, your clients, as you're having a conversation with them, are asking the question, if I could just do blank, or if only this could happen. So understanding the conversation that's going on in the client's mind is something that's important, because when you understand the thoughts they're thinking, the emotions they're feeling, and the questions that they're asking themselves, it's only then that you can enter in to that conversation and allow them to express those fears and anxieties and concerns and throw up all of those negative emotions they need to get out of the way so that there is clarity of thought and there is the ability to see the solution that you're bringing to the table. It means you've got to slow down and pause and be human and allow another human to have an opportunity to vent, to be able to express their fears, their angers, their frustrations, and their hurts, to ask questions that change the tone of the conversation, that move it from problem-focused to solution-focused. But think about this. Your clients sitting around the kitchen table talking to their spouse, frustrated about a problem they can't solve, are oftentimes having the conversation, if we could only blank. If we could only get out of debt, we could save more for retirement. If we could only find a way to put more money away in our 401k, we could retire with more money for retirement. If only we could come up with a way to make sure that if we get sick like our parents did, we don't see them lose their entire life savings. But I don't know what that looks like. These are thoughts and issues that are going on. They're not having conversations around the table about running out of toilet paper or running out of toothpaste in the middle of the night. They're having conversations and they're fretting and worrying over money issues that speak to the quality of life that they're going to be able to live in the future. Now, if you can understand the conversation going on in their mind and enter that conversation, you can now put the pieces of the puzzle together and help them see that you can solve that problem. And when you do that, you become the problem solving expert. Or, as we like to say, you become the authority figure and the expert that they see as the person that can uniquely help them solve their problem. You become, in essence, the money doctor that is going to do an assessment, and you're going to write a prescription, or you're going to perform a procedure so that you can help them have a better financial outcome at the end of your conversation together. That's what we help you do here at Vision Advisors. This philosophy of having a client conversation that is problem focused first, that leads to a solution, rather than coming in with the solution before you fully know the problem, it speaks to the client in a way that the client wants to be spoken to. It's a top 5% sales strategy that allows them to close more business than the bottom 95% of all financial professionals combined. This is a strategy we teach, and we've got tools and resources, questions, and worksheets that you can use to make sure that you are engaging your clients based upon an understanding of human behavior and consumer buying behaviors that give your clients the opportunity to think through the emotions, to properly deal with them, and to move those emotions out of the way so that there is clarity of thought and openness to the solution that you want to bring to the table. That's what we help financial professionals just like you do every single day here at Vision Advisors. If you'd like to learn more on how we do that and how we can help you up-level the experience for you and the clients that you serve, give us a call here at Vision Advisors. 1-800-505-8489 is our number. You can press 0 and be connected immediately to the first available business consultant, or you can go to our website, visionadvisorsinc.com, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and all of our business consultants are listed on the homepage with access to their calendar. You can schedule a strategy call to talk with them about a case you're working on, an opportunity that you've got that you're not sure how to position, maybe a difficult client that you're trying to close and you can't get that client closed, or you just want to know more about who we are and how we can help you move into that top 5% category to be the sales professional you've always wanted to become, but have struggled to because you haven't had the energy, the resources, and the coaching that are available to you. That's what we bring to the table here at Vision. We've got a vision for your financial success, and we'd love to share it with you. So give us a call at 1-800-505-8489, or go to our website, visionadvisorsinc.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, and schedule a strategy call with one of our consultants today. I'm John Terry with Vision Advisors. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.